So, you want to try one of Microchip's MPLAB XC C compilers. Here are the steps you can follow to download, purchase, and license a compiler. All Microchip compilers can be downloaded from the compiler's web page. Scroll down and select the Downloads tab. Choose the download corresponding to the platform on which you'll be running the compiler: Windows, Linux, or Mac OS X, and corresponding to the device family you will be targeting, the 8, 16 or 32-bit devices. The downloaded installer is an executable, or an executable inside a disk image in the case of OS X. If you are installing on Windows, first log in as an administrator, then for all platforms run the installer. Most of the options in the installer application are self-evident. However, you can refer to the Installing and Licensing MPLAB XC Compilers document if you require help. Select Free on the License Type screen when prompted. When the screen shown appears, installation is complete. You do not need your host ID shown in this dialog to run the compiler, but you might want to record it in case you need it for later licensing transactions. If, at this time, you would like to purchase a full compiler license or download an evaluation license, you can use the links provided in this dialog. However, you can perform these steps at any time, and the process will be discussed later in this presentation. At this point, the compiler is ready to use in free mode, and will appear in the list of available compilers the next time you run MPLAB X IDE. After compilation, you might see a message reminding you that compilation took place in free mode, or that you have attempted to compile using full optimizations with a restricted license. Your free mode compiler will operate indefinitely, but will only employ the lowest level of optimizations. At any time you can install a Pro Evaluation license, which will unlock all optimizations for 60 days, allowing you to evaluate all aspects of a licensed compiler. To obtain an evaluation license, you will need the host ID of the computer on which your free compiler is installed. If you do not have this recorded, run the compiler's XCLM application with the -hostinfo option. You might need to use the explicit path for this application. It is located in the bin directory of your compiler. To obtain the license file, go to the evaluation download webpage at the URL shown. A link is provided on the compiler's webpage under Features, License Types. Enter your host ID. Select the required operating system and compiler product. Typically, you would download the file. If you choose to have the file emailed to you, note that many email clients will not accept a batch file attachment. Run the download or email attachment to install the license file in the appropriate location. Under Windows, double-click the batch file. For OS X and Linux, it is easiest to run the script from a terminal. Change into the directory where the download is stored, and pass the name of this script file to the sh command. Regardless of the platform, the license file will be created and placed into the XCLM license directory. The next time you use the compiler, you will be able to run with full optimizations. If you are using MPLAB XC8, be sure to select Pro Mode from the Project Properties dialog, under the Compiler Optimizations category. This mode is pre-selected with other compilers. You can confirm the time remaining in the evaluation period from the MPLAB X IDE dashboard. If you would like unlimited access to the full compiler optimizations, you need to purchase a license and install the license file. Licenses are described in a separate webinar, but the remainder of this presentation will assume you are installing a Workstation license, the most popular license type. Go to the Microchip Direct website. Make sure the license you select is for the correct compiler type, XC8, 16 or 32, is for an actual compiler, not an HPA subscription, and is for the right edition, Standard or Pro, and is for the desired license type, for example a Workstation license. Add the required product to your cart and complete the transaction details at the checkout. On the Order Receipt page, click on the Download Software link. This takes you to the My Software page, which shows all your software purchases and is a central location where you can download compilers or check activation keys should you need them. You can also renew the HPA maintenance subscription which comes with many compiler products, but most importantly, you can download the license files for the products you have purchased. This web page is also accessible from the software web page on Microchip's website after the My Microchip login process. The download license link opens a pop-up window where you can enter your host ID and choose the delivery method for your license file. The license is provided for all 3 supported operating systems. Run the relevant script in the same way as described for the evaluation license, double-clicking the batch file under Windows or passing the script name to the SH program in a terminal for OS X or Linux. Your compiler is now licensed and can utilize any optimizations your license supports. The web pages where you may purchase and download license files are also accessible inside MPLAB X IDE. If the MPLAB X Store page is not visible, open it from the Help menu, MPLAB X Store. Click on any product to go straight to the Microchip Direct page for that item, where you can follow the purchase steps as per the Microchip Direct website. To obtain compiler information or download license files, open the Start page, if required, from the Help menu, Start page. Log into the IDE if you haven't already, and click the View My Software Account link. You might need to re-enter your login details for the My Software web page which opens. Click the Download License button for any compilers purchased through Microchip Direct or the MPLAB X Store. The IDE will automatically complete your host ID and execute the script to install the license file for you. If you have purchased a compiler license through a Microchip distributor, your activation key is not automatically registered and you will need to perform this step before you install the license file. Your activation key might have been emailed to you, or it might be enclosed within the DVD box if you purchased physical media. Open the My Software web page in your browser or from inside the IDE's Start page as shown in the previous slide. You'll see a link to the Activate and Register page where you can enter your host ID and the activation key you received with your purchase. This process registers the compiler with your account and activates the key. You can then download and install the license file as described earlier. All Microchip's MPLAB XC compilers can be downloaded and used free of charge. They run indefinitely, work with all PIC devices, and allow full access to all device memory and features. A license gives you access to the full optimization sets of these compilers. Licenses can be purchased through Microchip Direct, the MPLAB X Store, or through Microchip distributors. After purchase, a license file must be downloaded and installed on the computer which hosts the compiler. An evaluation license can be obtained free of charge and gives you 60 days to explore the advanced compiler optimizations. As with a full license, a license file must be downloaded and installed to use this feature. All licenses are linked to your computer's host ID. This is shown when you install a compiler, but you can find it at any time by running the XCLM application that ships with the compilers. Licenses purchased through Microchip Direct or the MPLAB X Store are already associated with your Microchip account. Licenses purchased through distributors need to be linked to your account by registering and activating the activation key supplied with the compiler.